Hi everyone. Assalamu alaikum. I'm your host. Thank you for joining us. Today we have very interesting topic and very interesting personality with us. So before I go to introduce our distinguished guest, I would like to say something about the Calvas, which is this platform. So before we start, I would like to thank the Calvas for arranging such enlightenment sessions and for their support and providing such a platform. And now Calvas has become a symbol of hope and a great gift to the community and a great opportunity for students, researchers, and professionals for a source of new knowledge, guidance, and helping out community to shape them in a better way so that they could contribute to the world at large. So today we have very interesting personality, a very humble person, and very generous in sharing his knowledge. And he has the international experience and so much to discuss. So today we have with us is the Dr. Muhammad Nawaz Tonio. He is the associate professor of the entrepreneurship at the Greenwich University, Karachi, Pakistan. Dr. Tonio is the PhD in entrepreneurship, innovation, and economic development from Alpen-Andria University, Klagenfurt, Austria. His study in Austria was sponsored by the Higher Education Commission of Pakistan through overseas scholarship, environment, entrepreneurship, and gender, etc. He has presented papers in various conferences and he has sessioned the chair in the international conferences. His research interests are entrepreneurship, youth development, CSR practices, and qualitative methods. So, welcome to the Kalwas platform, and thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Muhammad Nawaz Tonio. Yeah.
Dr. Dasha, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. First of all, I'm very humble for your this honor, invitation, honor, and opportunity to be part of your this these series of the sessions. And thankful to your institute to organize such kind of informative sessions for the newcomers, for the new aspirants, new researchers, and you are inviting the experienced researchers to come and share their experiences. I'm not such a senior and experienced, but I have a recent latest experience of completing my PhD from the Austria. So I will try my best to share my recent experiences that can help to the students, hopefully.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I'm sure today the people are going to enjoy this session and will learn a lot from your experiences and your exposures. Let me tell the audience that today we had another guest speaker that was Dr. Aisha Khurshid, but because of certain issues, she was not able to join us. Inshallah, in future we will take her in different session. But for today, we have this Dr. Muhammad Nawaz, and we will be having a lot of time to discuss with him the different issues, the different questions. So before we get started, let me just tell you that what would be the format for today's session. It will be question answer session, which we receive through emails, social media, and particularly through our official email, that is info@calvas.com. And we will also be taking online questions. You can ask the questions from speaker directly by mentioning in your comment section, and then we will ask the our respected guest speaker. So let's get started. Dr. Nawaz, we have the first question from you is the most of the time when we are doing our PhD, the question is the problem of isolation. So there is one question from the student that how to deal with the isolation, particularly when you are doing it from abroad, when you are missing your family and you don't have your relatives over there, since you have done also from abroad, Austria. So please guide us. How did you manage this isolation problem and how did you overcome this issue? Yes, please.
Yes. Thank you so much. Very interesting and social question. Actually, this is a common experience of every scholar who goes abroad and lives in foreign countries for PhD purpose mostly. So, isolation is necessary part of the PhD. I can say that because I will relate this with a we can say conceptual Islamic concept or we can say religious concept that okay, जब हम एहतिकाफ में बैठते हैं तो 10 दिन बैठने पड़ते हैं। 10 दिन से पहले वो एहतिकाफ आपका पूरा नहीं होता। और उसके
Hmm.
एहतिकाफ के अहकामात क्या होते हैं, उसमें आपको क्या करना होता है, उसके रूल्स रेगुलेशंस क्या हैं, आपको किस तरह से टाइम यूटिलाइज करना है, दैट इज एवरीथिंग प्री डिफाइंड।
True.
सही है।
Yes.
तो
Exactly.
अगर अगर आप एहतिकाफ में बैठ रहे हैं तो आपकी नीयत भी वही होनी चाहिए, आपका इरादा भी इतना मजबूत होना चाहिए, आपको हौसला भी होना चाहिए, और आपका डायरेक्शन भी वही एक होता है कि आप किस पर्पज के लिए बैठ रहे हैं और क्या करने जा रहे हैं। तो दिस इज
True.
द लाइक दैट। तो
Wonderful.
जब जब आप
Yes.
पीएचडी कर रहे हैं, करने जा रहे हैं, तो पहले क्या होता है कि एक एक्साइटमेंट होती है कि इट्स अ बिग टाइटल पीएचडी, मैं पीएचडी करने जा रहा हूँ, एक तो उसका एक इम्प्रेशन होता है। दूसरा, अगर हम किसी न्यू कंट्री में जा रहे हैं तो उस प्लेस का एडवेंचर होता है, उसका कॉम्प्लेक्स होता है, उसका एक एक्साइटमेंट होती है कि वाओ, आई एम गोइंग मलेशिया, आई एम गोइंग ऑस्ट्रिया, न्यू जगह पे, न्यू माहौल में, न्यू दुनिया में जा रहा हूँ। So that's also interesting and exciting for the students. But
Yes.
when they arrive there, they start their research phase, then they come to face this kind of the isolation which we are talking about.
True.
This is an invisible part of the PhD which is never documented or shared or informed, but everyone comes to know by experience.
Yes.
So,
Very
yeah,
nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is a actually this is a necessary for not necessary because this is a part of the process for everyone. And
True.
this during this process, every scholar has opportunity to understand himself, his strength and weakness. When
Yes.
there is no anybody to morally support you, to guide you, to suggest you,
True.
means all connections and relations you are finding within yourself. You are your teacher, you are your friend, you are father, you are your own father, you are taking care of yourself as your mother, because
True.
sometimes you need a physical care. If you are feeling very low, you are not feeling very good, you are very sick, then there is no anybody around you to look after you. You have to take the medicines timely. You have to go and consult with your doctor. You have to take care of your psychological health. You have to take care of your physical health. You have to maintain your work routine, work targets. You have to achieve those on daily basis, on weekly basis. So in
Yes.
all these things, you have to play multi-dimensional role, and
Yes.
it is the
Very,
phase where you explore yourself. What is your
very well.
strength? What is your a weakness? And in this phase, you convert your weakness into the strength, because you have to cope up. You have to deal with these things.
Yes.
When let's suppose I would share the experiences present in Austria when there was a lockdown. So there were many friends who were habitual with the hoteling.
Mm. True.
They were just depending on outside food. But
Yes.
they, even living in abroad, they never cooked by themselves. When there
True.
was a COVID situation and everything, all restaurants, hotels were closed down, and there was no outside option available. Then they started cooking because there was no any choice left. So they needed to take care of their health. They started cooking and these things, and a part of the this COVID situation, we are
Mm.
dependent here and culturally in Pakistan environment that we are receiving food, meal, everything on the table. We are being served. But when you are leaving Pakistan, you will not be served in the same way.
True. True. Very
You,
true.
you can enjoy 1 week, 2 week in adventure, and you can kind of go for the hotels, the restaurants. But there comes a time that you realize that you should start cooking and you should do practice that one. Then first of all, you have to accept that thing that I have to cook
True.
it.
Yes.
Then you start cooking. First week there will be not a good experiment. You will cook and put in garbage, and the second week there will be something good that you can at least survive and you can eat and survive. And the same way at the throughout this process, at the end you become a expert cook. So
Wonderful. Wonderful. Very nicely said, Dr. Nawaz. I was enjoying what you were saying because it was just a flashback of what we did in the Malaysia as well. that
Yeah.
once you are in the process, then you have to do. And I like the phrase what you used is the you will be a multi-dimensional. You will be playing multi-dimensional roles.
Absolutely.
At the same
Yes.
time, very nicely said, and that's what we say. That's the beauty of studying abroad. That's the exposure actually.
When we talk about this isolation, because only PhD student or PhD graduate can talk about the isolation, and
True.
those people can understand. Other people
Yes.
cannot understand what's the isolation, what's that mechanism, why they
Yes.
face this situation, because they are living in such a developed countries, such a
True.
luxurious environment. Then why they're crying for this these kind of feelings? So,
Yes.
being in that situation, even you cannot express that feelings with your family that I'm to be feeling being isolated. You cannot
Mhm.
share with your friends because you have to take care of them as well. As if you will inform your family that you are being isolated, you are feeling alone, you are feeling low, then they will be disturbed because of you.
Yeah.
You always try to pass good impressions to them that I'm in a very good conditions. I'm doing my work very well. There's
Yeah.
nothing good with here in this environment.
Yeah,
So
very
you have,
nicely. Yeah,
yeah,
very nicely said. And that's what we have been doing. That once you are in the process, most of the time I refer to my students that what you actually said, the same thing, that there would be no one to help you, only you yourself will help you over there. You are the father, you are the mother. What you
yeah,
have said is exactly. And
yeah,
that's what actually I think is that makes you more stronger in terms
yes,
of that you are working, you are cooking, at the same time you are enjoying and you are reading as well, because and you are preparing yourself for such a tough examination. And most of the time you also have gone through this journey that the examiner panel, we are also afraid of the examiners panel, that they are going to be very harsh and they are going to be very critic of our work. So at the same time you have to balance both of the things,
yeah.
your
Uh,
study and the
yes.
other life as well. Yes, please.
Beside this isolation in that phase, there's another aspect of the student life or PhD phase that
Mm.
when you receive a hot critics or not a good response from supervisor on daily basis, weekly basis, or monthly basis, you feel
Yeah,
very low.
true.
One side you are alone, isolated. On the second condition is that you receive such a criticism, and you feel disappointed. You feel yourself at 0 point. That whatever I'm just wasting my time. My every work is wasted. All total time is wasted, and then you just feel that you are going to surrender from the situation, or you are not efficient enough to deal with this case.
Yes,
This situation will come repeatedly many times during the PhD,
very nice.
because
Very.
that is not because that we are not competent enough, because we are in the learning phase, we are in a learning process. We are not very established scholars so that we can do everything perfectly and ideally.
Mm.
When
Yes.
professor demands high, or he expects something to do expects from us to do something better, it means that he wants us to develop, to improve ourselves.
Mm.
But we learn these things slowly, gradually. But that time we feel very negatively that there is something there is going very wrong, doing something wrong with us,
True.
or we are not in the right direction. So these
Yes.
things are to push in isolation, and the person feels very low in that case. But after a short time, when we receive good results, good response from the supervisor, or when our papers are accepted, our chapters are accepted by supervisor, we get very good feelings. We feel very good,
Yes.
valuable. That yes, my things, whatever I'm doing, that's a much that is somehow valuable, and I'm doing in a right way, in a right direction. That is the compensation of that situation as well.
Yeah, very perfectly said, Dr. Mohammed Nawaz. It means that what I could conclude is when you are in the process and when you achieve a small win or the milestone, then you gain the confidence and then you believe that you are creating a value, and then you start then you have the feeling that yes, I'm on the direction. and then it will take you to the next level. So that's
Yeah,
very nice. Yeah, and that's what Dr. Mohammed Nawaz mentioned to you people, that be in the process, part of the process, go with the flow. What the
yeah,
people are doing, you will be doing the same, and then you will enjoy your small wins, which will lead to the big wins. Yeah, very
yeah.
nicely said, Dr. Mohammed Nawaz. We have another question for you. That is the PhD students, they wants to ask that when is the right time to do a PhD? Now it's a very heavy loaded question. When is the
Yeah,
right time to do a PhD?
yeah.
Yes,
And there are
because
two
most,
aspects related to this question. What is the
yes,
right time to do PhD?
yes, please.
First of all, right time is when you want to do PhD, when you are ready to start it. Let's
Mm,
suppose there are so many people who are working diverse careers, different careers. They are
mm,
not in academia, and as there are so many people who are in academia, but they could not start PhD because of their social barriers, financial barriers, family
mm.
barriers, or we can say psychological barriers, which we don't count mostly. Okay,
Yes,
but at a certain point of time, they feel confident and they make mind for the PhD that I should do it, either necessity driven or opportunity driven.
very nice, very
Okay,
nice.
they feel realize that they cannot survive in academic career, academia world without the PhD.
Mm,
That is necessity driven, and those who feel that if I do PhD, I will be outlier in this academia. I can contribute more. I can be good academician. I can be good researcher. I can contribute much better than my colleagues, or I can contribute in the development of my institution in my country, in the
mm.
development of my country.
Yes, very nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, first phase, first right time is this one, and second right time is this. Okay, when you are completing your previous education, and you are with the mind that you have to carry on with academic career,
Mm,
then without wasting your time here and there, you should continue your further education. You
mm.
have completed your bachelor, go through the masters, then go through the MPhil, then go through the PhD phase. So these
Yes.
are the right ways and right tracks to continue and to do the PhD. I think so.
Yeah, very nicely said. And I liked again the phrases which you used, the necessity driven and the opportunity driven. Very
Yes.
nicely you have mentioned, and they should first gauge themselves, that what is the motive behind that, and then they can go for that. Okay, very nice day, Dr. Mohammad Nawaz. We have the another question for you, that what is the role of cultural intelligence as a foreigner? Since you have been abroad, you spent a very good time over there. At the
Mm.
same time, you were learning. At the same time, you were just the citizen over there, and you have your social gathering over there. So, what does the this culture intelligence play a role in your this whole research journey?
Yeah. Culture has very important role, mostly in the capacity development of these students, because we come from the certain very permanent culture where we had no any exposure before. Let's suppose when I was here, I was just I had exposure of the four provinces of Pakistan, but I had never been to abroad. When I went abroad and I just meet with the new people and observe new traditions, then there are so many things to learn over there. Not only culture, but their behavior, their language, their social treatment, social behaviors, their academic matters, and how they will live their life, how they enjoy their life, what is their life style, and we feel the difference when we match and compare, and when we meet with the new people in new community, and we discuss with them, we exchange our ideas, then we realize and find ourselves, and we check our position that where we are standing, how is our culture. There are two things in cultural things, cultural influence. First one are those which are physical or visible. Visible and physical are those which are like a dressing style.
Mhm.
dressing style, and other things which are physically we celebrate here in Pakistan, like cultural day, and we have different day, cultural dressing, cultural food, and these things. Second thing is invisible. That is a mindset
True. True.
that how
True.
they behave in their different relations, social relations, family relations, how kids are behaving, how teachers are treating to the students, how students are behaving with the teachers, and what is the organizational culture, what is the family culture, what is the social culture. These are the invisible things which we learn with the time being day by day.
Yes.
Yeah. So
True.
at the beginning level, it is exciting, it is an adventure, but very difficult to adjust with them
Yes. Agree.
because we mix our culture with the religion as well. Our religion has a strong integration with the culture, so we see the things with those lenses. There are so
Yes.
many things which we cannot adopt or follow when we go abroad. So we have to set our boundaries. We have to follow our boundaries, and we have to observe all the differences, or the newness and new things, and whatever there is a good thing, we always try to adopt and we celebrate with them in our own limits.
Yes, very nicely said. Thank you very much, Dr. Mohammad Nawal. What you concluded in just a very wonderful way, that you can adopt everything which is good, but within your own limitations. That
Yes,
limitations could be your religious limitation, your own culture limitations, your own ethics, or whatever. But you have I like the phrases which you use just to tide up the things in a very wonderful way.
thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Yeah, we have another very important question which we come across so many times in the PhD journey, particularly. The question they are asking is that what is the role of workshops? Yes, Dr. Nawaz, can you hear us?
Yes, now I can.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
It was
So
disconnected.
it's a very important question that what is the role of workshops and seminars? Do you recommend to attend the workshops and seminar because it is too expensive to attend? Are they useful? Most of the time
Yes.
in our universities, we had the different workshops, different speakers and seminars.
Dr. Saab, I can't hear you. I think there is an internet connection problem from your side.
Yes, Dr. Sir, can you hear us?
Yes, now I can. There is an internet issue, I think. That's why
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
offline.
sometimes it happens because this is the limitation of the technology as well. As you mentioned, the
We
same
have to
thing
manage.
goes over here. Yeah. The question, Dr. Saab, they want to ask
Yes.
is what is the role of workshop and seminars, and do you recommend to attend the workshop and seminar? Is it not too expensive or the useful? Yes, please.
Yes, Dr. Heather, I would strongly recommend to the all students and my research colleagues because from the workshop, by the participation of the workshops and conferences, there are two things. First of all, when you are participating in the conference, you are presenting your work, you get a feedback from the different diverse scholars who are either experts, who are relevant or irrelevant according to their capacities, according to their exposure. They put their questions and they give you new direction. By questioning on your work, they give you new direction and let you know the new dimension of your work. They show you the weaknesses and the strength of your work, that how much valuable your work is, first of all. And through the workshops, what happens that it's a personal grooming of the scholar. When students are participating in different conferences, different workshops, by the participation, they first of all get new flavor of the information. They get the new knowledge. First of all, second thing, they get the connectivity, social networking. They meet and greet with the diverse scholars, different scholars from the different corners, the different universities, the different disciplines who are working or who are engaged in the different research topics. So here, what happens that they develop a social networking, because in the academia world, in the research world, you know that it is the most important to develop the social networking for the survival, for the research collaborations, for the academic collaborations. So through the workshops, through the conferences, they can develop the networking. They can learn new things which they cannot learn from the classroom. Which they cannot learn from the books, articles, or the from the other
Carry on, please. Carry on, Doctor.
from the other resources. So workshops play a very important role for the in the life of development of the students. I will give an example of my. I will share my experience when I was doing MS in Science and Technology Policy, and I had presented my first paper in the international conference organized by the Islamia College University, Peshawar. Dr. Saab, can you hear me? Uh, so yes, so, uh, so I was saying that I participated in the conference at the Islamic University Peshawar. I went to present my paper only from Hyderabad to Peshawar. And this was my first conference where I presented my work. I received very good feedback, and I got connected with the different scholars in the conference. And I have still connections and contacts with them. We share our work, we share our journey, we share our experiences. It helped me a lot to grow and to learn and to move in the move forward in my career, academic career. So after that, I always prefer to participate in the conferences. And when I was in Austria, then I have participated in the international conferences like the British Academy of Management Science and Europe conferences. Now, recently, last month, I had a conference of the Europe where I presented my work. But due to the COVID situation, it was online. Otherwise, it could be the physical conference to be organized in the Canada. So next, I have a conference of British Academy of Management Sciences that will be hopefully conducted in the UK, London. But if there will be positive situation, then it will be physical. Otherwise, it will be a virtual conference. So it plays very important role in the nurture of the students, in the growth of the students, and give them new kind of the experiences, new kind of the ideas, new kind of the creativity comes in their thought process through the meeting different people and sharing their own experiences and learning their other experiences of the other peoples in the different events, different conferences.
Yeah, very nicely said, Dr. Mohammad Nawaz. That's what the beauty of the conference is. What you mentioned is the you interact with the new people, and that's how we make the relationship with the different professors, and we discuss about the projects and all these things, which is very much important.
Yes, I would add here that participation in the conferences would not only help you to get the research ideas, but that can connect you with the different HODs, different professors, different vice
True.
chancellors. You can find the different employment opportunities as well. Recently,
Yes.
one established scholar shared his experience. that he had met his current employer in one international conferences in abroad, where they discussed research ideas and they shared their experiences. After then, that professor recommended him to apply for the position, and he is the assistant professor over there. So I will not mention the particulars, but this is a real story. So you can also find new employment opportunities or future opportunities through these international conferences by meeting the well-established scholars. Raksav, I can't hear you.
Dr. Saab, I think there is something wrong with the internet. That's why most of the time we are yeah, very nicely said. And this is how we interact with the international professors, and we make a relationship with them. Very nicely said. In comment section, we could see that the MBA student wants to ask the question that what do you recommend for an MBA student to start a research work? Where they should start?
Yes, I would strongly recommend them because this is a problem. Actually, this is one of the several problems that students face when they start doing PhD. That they don't have a previous exposure. They don't
Yes,
have any experience of doing the research.
true, true.
Okay, so
Yeah,
even bigger PhD students, they should come in contact with the any professor who is a native or foreign PhDs who is working in that department in the same discipline. He should seek the guidance and come in contact and share their ideas that they want to conduct research on any topic. From where they start, first of all, they should do start homework. They should do some homework by learning the different reading different books, attending different YouTube channels, you different workshops, and read the articles, research articles, so that they can at least have some basic ideas. They have a basic concepts about the research process and research mechanism. Then they discuss with the any professor, and they come with some any research idea, research gap. Then they start working on that one. Their first paper or first draft will not be perfect as per the scientific article, or we can say the professional drafting. But at least by doing this, they will start, they will come in the flow, come in the practice of writing something creative, something regarding the research.
yeah.
So they should start writing an article. They should first of all try to study the different kinds of the articles. Then they start from the review article, because one student who starts from review article, he gets many ideas. He learns about the publication process. He learns about the types of the research articles, types of the manuscripts. Then different part of the articles, he learns about the different sections, that how to write introduction, how to write a research methodology, how to write a literature review, how to choose the research methodology. These things are these things can be learned through the writing a review article. After doing that review article, he or she should go for the empirical article, because he has got he get foundations from the review article. Then he should go for the empirical article with the consultation of the professor, or with the consultation of his colleagues or research team, whoever there is available in that circle or with him.
Yeah. Yes, Dr. Saab, can you hear us?
Yes, now I can hear.
Yeah, yeah. Dr. Saab, there is another very important question. Again, it is somehow related to the first question that Akilsha want to ask, that are there any specific core competencies required prior to start with the research work?
Yeah, willpower,
Wonderful.
determination,
Very
commitment.
nice. Wow.
These three things are most important to start, because everyone, human being is a complex phenomena, but we are for the learning process. No one is a perfect. No one is born with some certain set of the skills. We
Very
adopt
nice.
these skills by doing practice, by the learning, by improving. So
Yes.
if you are determined, if you are committed, and you have to be consistent with that plan, with that motivation, that
Yes.
whatever there will be in the way, whatever comes in the way, you have to face it, but you don't have to give up.
Yeah. Very nice. Very
That is
nice.
the most essential for to start any project or to start the PhD, to start any research article. Then one can achieve his or own objective.
Yes, Dr. Saab, can you hear us?
Yes, Dr. Saab.
Oh, okay, okay. We have another question from Abdul Wahab that what is the role of honesty and integrity as a being researcher?
Yes, that's the most important, very crucial element in the PhD because you have to be very honest in the research because when you are doing a literature review, you are reading different articles and you have to acknowledge every valuable idea of the other scholars, first of all, in the writing process. And then a part of the writing, when you are going to the publication phase, you have to be very sincere, you have to follow very transparent mechanism in that one because there are always two ways, right way and wrong way, either in the writing process or in the publishing process. But in that case you have to be very right, you have to follow the right way. And what is the right way? That is a way of doing by yourself through learning and through going through the experiences. And let's suppose Dr. Saab, I think there is internet issue again.
Yes, yes, Dr. Saab, there is a lot of problem. I don't know. Once we were conducting the work, session with the American professor, at the same time, this kind of problem occurred. And then he was very positive and he said that these are the limitation of technology. So,
Yes.
yeah, don't blame anything. It can
Yeah.
happen because at the same time it can serve us with the benefits. At the same time, it has the limitation as well. So the same
Yeah.
thing is happening. Yes, Dr. Saab, there is one another question which is very important that
Yes.
PhD is a part time or it's a full time job because they say that treat your PhD for 30 to 40 hours weekly. So, can PhD be done part time as well or it's a full time job? What do you recommend?
PhD is neither a full-time job or nor a part-time job. It is a full-time commitment.
Wonderful.
Yes, it's a, some kind of the commitment which you have to fulfill within the certain time period. Because on the daily basis you have to spare some amount of time on research work. Either you are doing that work at the daytime or you are doing at the right time. What portion of the day you are choosing to for your research work, that depends upon you. But you
True.
have to be committed with your work, that you have to spare some time, 2 hours, 3 hours, you have to complete daily basis task because there are many things in the flow. When you are writing some work, that you have so many things to do along with that. But not only the research work, but there are some other personal commitments, social commitments, professional commitments. So in the flow of that, all these things, you have to be very committed that you have to complete this task anyhow. So in the formal way, we can say that while registration, after registration one can do PhD along with the job or cannot do along with the job? That is another question.
Yes,
That
very
is to
nice.
say part time or full time.
True,
Okay.
true.
In that case, part PhD cannot be the part time along with the job because you
Yeah.
cannot hold two things in one hand together.
True.
You have,
Very nice. Very
yes,
nice.
because you are. I would give an example that PhD is your very darling, very beloved baby, which needs your full attention, full
Very,
time, your full availability. So you have to be fully available, spiritually, mentally, physically for your work. You should
yes,
be energetic and enthusiastic to do the task.
yeah.
And when you perform, when you complete your time on that certain research work, you feel very happy, you feel celebrated, you feel successful, that
Yeah.
your day was wonderful. And at the end, when all things are done at the end of month, when you complete certain project, you appreciate yourself, you get a good vibes from your inside that I have done very good job. And that is the outcome of the commitment.
Yes, very nicely said, Dr. Mohammed Nawaz. We have another question that if you were good at undergrad studies, only then you will be good at PhD program. Is it true, or it's just the
Oh.
general perception?
No, this is a general perception because in human learning process there are so many transitions.
Okay,
One
nice,
who is one who is always bench maker can be the position holder as well.
wonderful, wonderful.
Okay, I have experience. I have so many friends who are bench makers. Who those are the CSS toppers. Those are the PhD holders. So this does not mean if he who is a very poor grading in the metric, he cannot be the good in the intermediate, or who has a poor performance in the intermediate, he cannot be the good student in the graduation, undergraduation, and who has not a good grades or good performance in the undergraduation, he cannot be the good student in the master, because there comes with that flow of the time, with the change of the situations, with the change of the institutions, with change of the learning places, there comes so many changes within the life inside of the student that enables him to cope up with the challenges and helps him to grow and develop, and he becomes efficient enough to learn and compete with the other students.
Yes, very nicely said, Dr. Mohammed Nawaz. We have one another question from MBA student. He's doing a job. He wants that any tips on managing the research along with the job in a corporate sector.
Yeah, it is a bit demanding because when you are full-time employee from 9 to 5 or from 9 to 10 and 9 to 8, then because as I say that research work is attention seeking, you have to spare time, you have to give time to the readings. So in that situation, what he can do, he should start reading in his free time. He should read the articles, and he should develop a literature matrix, and then from that process, because through the readings he will come to learn the research process about the scientific writings, and then he should spare or he should reserve some small short of the span of the time for his research work. Let's suppose, as I said, that research is a matter of the commitment. Not necessary you are doing at the daytime, not necessary you are doing at the night time. Whenever you feel relaxed, when you have mindset, you are with a free mind, with a relaxed mind, you can spare a few hours, 1 hour, 2 hour on the research work. So being a full employee in any kind of the organization, you can always have a possibility to find the time of your interest and to invest on the research process. So if he is doing a job full time at the daytime, he can spare 1 hour or 2 hour at the night time or before sleeping for the research work. Because at this, even at the small scale, consistency matters a lot.
Yes, true,
The,
true.
on the daily basis, if he is investing 1 hour or 30 minutes on the research work, that's more than enough for the full employed person. So it will benefit him a lot at the end of the day. So even at the small scale, that he should maintain that consistency, and he have to go with the same energy and same strength, same motivation.
Yes, very nice, very nice, very true.
Yeah.
Dr. Mohan Nawaz, we have another very important question. What is the role of supervisor? A guide, a trainer, a teacher?
Yeah. Here I will talk about the teacher and supervisor.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
Wonderful question. Most of the time we have been asked what is the difference between teacher and supervisor?
Yes.
Yeah.
When students come to the school, to the classroom, they come for the learning process because they come for, they invest time, they invest money on the fees or admission process, and they spare time in the building for the learning process. They come for the learning. So it is a role of the student to develop the students. It is a role of the teacher to develop the students through the reading, through the assessment, through the using different tools and techniques. If a student is performing very low, then teacher should evaluate that why his performance is poor. If a student is performing very good, then he should be appreciated for his performance so that he can do much better than what he is doing right now. But in case of the supervisor, so role of the supervisor is to give the direction, right direction. Dr. Saab, are you there? Role of the supervisor is to groom the research skills in the student by giving the right direction.
Yes,
Right.
Dr. Saab, we can hear you. You continue, please.
Okay, thank you
We
so
can
much.
hear you.
Thank you,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
Yes. So a teacher can develop the different skills, different habits by engaging or forcing a student to do something productive and in the limits of academic curriculum. But role of the supervisor is to give the direction, research direction. If you are going doing something in a right way, that he will suggest you to the how to continue. Let's suppose supervisor has important role to complete. He is a responsible to follow your PhD project or your research papers. But you have to do everything. You have to follow all given suggestions, and you have to implement all given suggestions given by the supervisor. So he cannot suggest you, he cannot advise you how to do it. You have to find out that way how to do it. He will give you the direction. This is not a good, this is not a right way, or this is not a up to the standard. Let's suppose students mostly choose face the problems in choosing the research topic, that how to choose the research topic. How should I start my research work? So here, supervisor gives him some tips, gives him idea that you should start reading. He gives us recommends some scholars, professors, just some journals, some research articles that start reading and get idea from that. But professor cannot read on his behalf to suggest him that you should start work on this topic. That is the role of the student to find out, to explore the topic, but where is your interest? So it is a job of the student to go through that learning process and to find the interesting topic and bring before the supervisor. Then supervisor can guide him. Okay, this is a interesting topic. Now tell me that what is your plan? How will you carry on this one? Because your professor, your supervisor will not give you a plan that how will you carry out your study. You have
True.
to tell him. If there is something weakness in your study or in your plan, he will suggest you that what is the right strategy, what should be the right way to carry on that project.
Yes. Very nicely said. And that this is how we differentiate between supervisor
So
and the teacher.
I would add here one thing more, that in our
Yes.
cultural environment in Pakistan, academic environment, There's
Yes.
one another aspect that supervisor are very rude with the
True.
students.
Very.
They
Yes. Yes.
create psychological pressures. They offer very rude and hard behavior.
Yes.
Okay, so this should be for the academic purpose only, not the behavioral purpose. Teacher supervisor should be tough, should be hard for the academic commitments, not for the behaviors. Supervisor should not compromise on the quality of the contents, quality of the draft, but he should be very soft, very kind, and very friendly with the students so that they can feel comfortable while feel comfortable in the learning process with the professor.
Mm.
So I will
True.
give you an example that when I was a PhD student, my professor was very friendly with me.
True. True.
He used to offer me a cup of the tea. He used to take me for the lunch, for the dinners. But in case of the research work, in the terms of the academic crumbs, he was very tough with me.
Yes.
He never gave me any soft corner for the research that okay, you should ignore this point and go through the next one.
Yes.
Until and unless I did not prove at the point one, he did not allow me to move on to the next point. So, supervisor should be focused and committed for the research work, and by behavior, he should be kind with the research students because research students are facing so many other issues at the same time. So they
True.
need some kind of the moral support, and moral behavior support from the supervisor plays very important role in the growth of the students during the phase of the PhD research.
Yes, very nicely said, Dr. Mohammed Nawaz. I'm enjoying what you are explaining to the students and answering the queries. We have another very interesting question from Akil Shah that since PhD is the highest academic achievement, so please enlighten us upon the choice to go which direction in life. Means today,
I'm sorry, doctor, I cannot hear you.
yes, Dr. Sab, can you hear us?
Sorry, doctor, I could not hear you completely.
Now you can hear us?
Yes, now I can.
Okay, okay. There is a one question from Akil Shah. He wants to ask that since the PhD is the highest academic degree, so just enlighten us that how can we make the choice to go which diverse field and to do a PhD, because PhD is supposed to be very academic and professional excellency. So what to do for that to select the diverse field and to do a PhD in that field?
Yes, actually, what is the problem here in our environment that people or seniors mostly discourage students by showing them that PhD is a very big thing which you cannot do. Let's suppose when you are in students are in intermediate, people express them with the fear of failure that you cannot qualify the CSS. It's a very competitive exam, but CSS or PhD are not very competitive, or these are not as impossible projects.
Yes.
We are also human beings. We have gone through the same process. So in the same way, they can also go through this process. PhD is, of course, a big project. It is a big academic title, but a PhD is a process
True.
which goes through the step by step, and there is no any challenge, there is no
Yes.
any hurdle, there is no possibility in that process. But you have to go the process. You have to follow the pattern of the PhD.
True. True.
You have to work on the research proposal. You have to find any creative idea, and
Yes.
there are also different ways to find out the research idea depending
Yes.
upon your interest, where you are interested. Either you go through the or you go through the research articles, you go through the research literature review and you find the research gap, or you discuss with the supervisor, you discuss with the different professors and you get the research idea. You are participating in a conference where you listen to different scholars and you get the research idea. So there are
Yes.
so many sources to get the research idea, and if you have any idea, you can start from that idea and go through the small scale by start writing on that one.
Yeah, very nice, very nicely said. There is one another important question from MBA student, that is Javed Khan. He wants to ask, what is the most authentic way to collect the data through questionnaire? The online or the physical one, and how to make sure that it is filled with due attention?
Yeah, actually, every online and physical data collection process has own drawbacks and benefits.
Yes.
When you are going through the physical mechanism of the data collection, it is a time taking, it's a money taking, because you have to invest money, you have to invest time, and you have to engage different peoples in your data collection. Sometimes you do not get good responses because people are so occupied, and they are not willing to share their data with you. So
True.
these are somehow drawbacks of the physical data. But benefits are that you are collecting data that's reliable, that you are being in person and you are checking and you are verifying that they are real persons who are providing their right information. But in case of the online data collection, it is a time saving, that you circulate your questionnaire to the well-known circles and you get the data, and that you cannot claim or you cannot challenge authenticity in that case, because that's online data collection. And it's a drawback, or we can say limitations of the online data collection process, that you have to circulate. You are sending questionnaire to the different people, and you cannot verify that who is filling that questionnaire, and if he is in that capacity to provide right information or not. So both online or physical
Yes.
modes of the data collection has own pros and cons. But it depends upon the nature of your study, that what is the need of your study and how you are going to collect the data.
Yeah.
Let's suppose in case of the COVID situation, there was no
Yes.
ability to collect data, to collect the data physically. So
True.
all physical mechanism was converted into the online. The all
True.
study, all data is collected through the online channels, online sources.
Yes. Even
So
our classes as well.
yeah, we are, of course, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. Very nicely said, Dr. Mohammed Nawaz.
So that's the order of the day.
Dr. Mohammed Nawaz, I'm really enjoying what you say to the different students, and we can see their comment. They are actually loving what you are saying and what you are recommending. But
Thank you so much.
due to some technological error, there is an internet issue. So we have to end over here, and we will take a promise from you that you will give us the time again for our next session when we have the internet visibility properly, because there is some network issue and yes, thank you very much. We will have another session with you in detail, because
Thank you
the
so
viewers are responding is so wonderful, and the overwhelming response from the audience we could see. Very nice, very wonderful. Dr. Muhammad Nawaz, we will be having another session with you, that is for sure, inshallah. But what is your message as a researcher, trainer, supervisor to the world for this session? For next session, we will have many more questions for you, because there is a bundle of questions for you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Heather Shah, for this opportunity. And I'm so excited, so happy to be part of this process, to be part of the sessions conducted by you and your institute.
Yeah.
So I will be always available whenever required. I will feel honored to participate, to be part of this process. So I'm not a big scholar, but based on my learning process, I am just a learner, and I will advise to the newcomers, new students who are in the process of the research, either in writing the research articles or doing the writing a thesis or in the PhD process, that this is a process which is you have to go through it in a systematic way. There is no any kind of a shortcut in the research work. You have to write a research article You have to get it because in the research process there are different interconnected phases. First one is to write the article. Second one is to get published that article. These are two different big challenges in the research process. So my suggestion is that you have to be very patient in that process. You have to be very humble in that process and be cooperative with your research team in collaboration, in coordination, and develop very good harmony with your colleagues and with your work so that all things should go very smoothly and very successfully.
Yes, Dr. Sir. Very nice message to the world. Be in a harmonious way and go through the process, do the proper literature, and then you can go towards that thing. Very nicely conclude. Thank you very much once again, Dr. Mohammed Tony.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was a wonderful session with you. Inshallah, we'll be having many more sessions with you, even in panel discussion as well. We'll take advantage of your great knowledge, vast knowledge, and yes. Thank you very much, all the audience, for watching and supporting us. We'll be having Dr. Muhammad Nawaz again for a future session. And stay tuned to this channel. We will be coming up with the more videos and more sessions in future too. Thank you very much. Stay blessed. Bye bye.